Hello everybody, you can call me Hunch. And today we're going to be talking about Stacks, Nakamoto, so on and so forth. So the Nakamoto release, which is the update to Stacks, which brings fast block times, has been activated, right? It was a certain block height, I think it was 867, which I think adds up to 21, which is actually pretty funny. Anyway, excuse me. There's some controversy because some blocks are really fast, some blocks take a little more time. I've heard anywhere from like 2 minutes to 5 minutes. And I've mostly been hearing from like devs and people who code that this is not a problem. It will be optimized. The framework is there, so on and so forth. It has something to do with hard forking with Bitcoin and so on and so forth. You know, way above my college degree. But that's not the point. I do think that the framework is there, right? SBTC is coming in 4 to 6 weeks, supposedly. And if you look around mainstream media like CNBC, people are starting to realize that countries are mining Bitcoin, right? You've got some small countries that are already doing it. El Salvador, that happiest country on earth in the mountains. I can't remember the name. They got temples and stuff. Whatever it is. Now BRICS nations will be, forming coalitions to mine, whatever the case. Now, there's going to be some countries that I think are just going to bypass Bitcoin mining, and I think they're going to go for stacks, right? Munib is a perfect example. He's got, I think, 200 million in stacks, and every month he gets over 1 million in Bitcoin, so on and so forth. Now, this may be a rumor. I don't know how true this is. I've seen this throughout Twitter, so I'm not doing any wallet searches, and I'm not trying to call him out or whatever. But I do think there will be nation states, pensions, so on and so forth, who will stack via stacks, right? You can see that with Grayscale. You think I'm crazy by saying this, but it would be crazy for Grayscale to hold stacks when they could be gaining yield on that stacks by staking it, right? And you can see this with institutional signers on SBTC, validators for the Nakamoto after the Nakamoto release. So I don't think it's being released to the public yet, right? And I think it's early, but I think this is the early innings of nation states adopting stacks. And why is that? Because it's a game theory type of thing, right? The more stacks you hold, the more interest you get on Bitcoin. Now, that sounds bad because that's how our legacy system works, right? The people closest to the printer win. But it's okay because the underlying asset, Bitcoin, has 21 million. It's proof of work. It's hard capped, right? So on top of that, you can build an economy with these different layers. And I think stacks is prime time for that, right? Not every nation is going to have the resources to mine Bitcoin, whether it's sun or thermal, geothermal, whatever. They're not going to have the equipment. They're not going to have the suppliers, right? They're not going to have the capital to hire people or the human capital, right? So I think they will stack via wallets, via institutional grade wallets themselves, via stacks. So that's all I want to say. Anyway, you could call me Hunch. Bitcoin breaks all-time high. That's good. But I think you need to take the long-term approach. Stake if you need to not sell. That's what I'm doing personally, or I theoretically would be doing. To not sell, to force my hand to ignore it, right? Because you have that two week or whenever the cycle ends to unstake your stacks. Anyway, you can call me Hunch. Let's get it. Long-term plays. Let's go.